Happy Thursday and welcome to your weekly briefings on SWBN News Watch. I am Chimela Chike. Thanks for joining us tonight. Members of the Christian community of Delhi National Capital Region held a Sunday protest at Jantar Mantar against what they said is an escalation of hate and violence against Christians in several states in the country. About 100 churches and organizations participated in the protest, the Indian Express reported. Dr. Michael William, president of the United Christian Forum, UCF, said, and I quote, "Today we've gathered here peacefully at Jantar Mantar because we want to share the anguish of our fellow citizens who also follow the Christian faith in the states of Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, and so many other places where their basic fundamental rights are being snatched." End of quote. Other protesters also expressed similar views, noting that the Constitution permits the freedom of religion and want the government to do more in protecting Christians in the region. Meanwhile, a statement issued by the Delhi NCR Christian community stated the UCF, a human rights group based in New Delhi that monitors atrocities against Christians in India, has recorded a total of 598 incidents of violence against Christians from 21 states this year alone till the end of December 2022. The statement added that the memorandum will remind national and state leaders that impunity has crossed all limits. Armed mobs besiege Christian homes in Chhattisgarh villages on trumped-up charges of mass conversions. The villagers have to flee for their lives, and many even now have not been able to go back home. Russian President Vladimir Putin has pointed to the Church of England's recent decision to explore gender-neutral terms for God as evidence that the West does not know what it is doing and is heading for a spiritual catastrophe, Daily Mail reported. Delivering a State of the Nation address to the Russian people, Putin railed against perceived Western stupidity and said that the West was waging a cultural war against Russian Orthodox Christian values. Millions of people in the West understand that they are being led to a real spiritual catastrophe, he added. He went on to say that Western nations are changing historical facts to suit woke ideologies and staunchly criticize the Church's recent discussions on permitting priests to bless same-sex marriages. He also believes the West is constantly destroying family identities, cultural identities, and national identities. With this reaction, do you think his opinion will affect this current trajectory? In a recent report from CBN, Christian leaders are responding to the Satanic Temple's TST announcement about its second public convention, a weekend of blasphemy, to be held in Boston, Massachusetts this spring. The event, known as SatanCon 2023, will be held on April 28th to 30th at the Boston Marriott Copley Place. It's been advertised by the TST as the largest satanic gathering in history. The official theme is Witches' Night, an ancient German holiday that occurs annually on April 30th. In response, Christians are sounding alarms and planning to fight a spiritual battle to push back against the darkness. And what's been described as spiritual counter-offensive to SatanCon 2023, revivalist Dr. James Sideras, co-founder of Revive Boston, and his wife Pascal have scheduled a 3-day revival in Boston in the same weekend. Christian services will be held at 7 p.m. nightly on April 28th to 30th at the Revere Hotel, Boston Common, 200 Stuart Street, which is less than a mile from the TST convention. A street evangelism campaign is also being planned by Revive Boston to be held Saturday, April 29th. In a video trailer for Revive Boston April 23, Sideras said, and I quote, "Now make no mistake, friends, this is an all-out war between the kingdom of Satan and the kingdom of God for the soul of America." Do you agree with Sideras on this? Then take a moment to pray for this darkness to be swallowed up in victory. Let there be light in the United States of America. Nigeria has been in the spotlight for a very long while. This time it's about the February 25th presidential and National Assembly elections that came with so much tensions amid widespread delays. CNN reported that widespread delays overshadowed the crucial presidential election in Nigeria as millions voted to elect their new leader. CNN confirmed reports from eyewitnesses of isolated violence at two polling stations in Lagos, with the military forced to intervene. At the time of this report, INEC was yet to make a response to CNN's request for comments. Moreover, chaotic scenes at a polling unit in Maraba and Abuja suburb. A large crowd of voters struggled to cast their ballots, a CNN team witnessed. Those who did manage to cast a ballot did so in the full glare of those standing next to them, in contravention of the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC guidelines, which establishes privacy for voters. One registered voter, Elias Ajonwa, told media persons that, quote, "People are voting in exposed spaces and everyone can see who they are voting for. There is no privacy. I won't be surprised if this polling unit is cancelled," unquote. Ajonwa expressed unease about the situation, saying that there is a possibility of any hooligan cutting away INEC materials because of how vulnerable the INEC officials and their materials were. In some police stations, INEC officials arrived very late. Such reports surfaced in northern Kano State, southern Bayelsa State, Abia State, Cross River State, and some areas in Rivers State. Konjo-Iweala, the Director General of the World Trade Organization, experienced the same delay when she went to her village to vote. She made this known in a tweet, quote, "Waiting to vote at my polling station in Umuda, Isingu village, Omaya, Abia State. I've been waiting 1 hour. Many villagers have been here since 7 a.m. It is 11:23 a.m. now. Where are the INEC officers? Where are the INEC officers?" she asked. By 12:42 p.m. on Saturday, she tweeted, quote, "The INEC officers finally arrived. My husband and I have just voted. The turnout is unbelievable, the largest I have ever seen in all the years I have voted in the village. Young and very old are all here," end of quote. In Cross River State, officials arrived late in several polling units. At the University of Calabar Teaching Hospital Permanent Site Gate, one of the polling units we observed in Calabar Municipality, INEC officials arrived over 2 hours late and encountered a series of challenges. First, voters were told that there was a network challenge, the Beaver's device was not well configured, and the 750 registered voters in the polling unit were to return on Sunday to vote after waiting hours to no avail. The 2023 presidential election has left many Nigerians dissatisfied with the electoral process in Nigeria. A petition is calling for the UK, the United States of America, and Canada to cancel INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu's visa. Many Nigerians are convinced that INEC was corrupt and played to favor the ruling APC and PDP over the Labour Party. Many have been tweeting, hashtag INEC is corrupt. As the tension increases across the nation, former President Olusegun Obasanjo has called for calm while asking the INEC chairman to address the grievances of the people in respect to how the election process was poorly handled across the nation. Watch.
It is no secret that INEC officials at operational level have been allegedly compromised to make what should have worked not work, and to revert to manual transmission of results, which is manipulated and the results doctored. The chairman of INEC may claim ignorance, but he cannot fold his hands and do nothing when he knows that election process have been corrupted, and most of the results that are brought outside Beavers and Sava are not true reflection of the will of Nigerians who have made their individual choice.
This election was Africa's largest democratic exercise. If you're watching us from Nigeria, let us know what your voting experience was like. Stay with us. On a more sober note, The Guardian Nigeria shed a spotlight on the plight of internally displaced persons, IDPs, in Nigeria, calling it a human tragedy and a double jeopardy. In an editorial, The Guardian wrote that it is a human tragedy that displaced people who should enjoy the protection of government have again been allegedly displaced by government officials without prior notice and without providing any place for their resettlement. This is double jeopardy. According to media reports, about 3,000 people from Durumi internally displaced persons IDP camp located in Durumi, Area 1 in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Abuja, and their children now sleep in open spaces since December 21st, 2022, because government officials who did not give them any notification demolished their tents in the camp. Their plight has been worsened by the cold weather occasioned by lingering harmattan, and the women now make nylon tents and burn firewood to keep their children warm at night. In addition, the unexpected demolition may result in shock and trauma for the IDP, particularly for women, children, and elderly persons. Advising the Nigerian government, The Guardian wrote that the permanent solution to the humanitarian crisis in Nigeria is for the government to perform its responsibility and prevent criminal attacks on citizens wherever they may be in the country. Nigerian IDPs deserve to be treated with dignity and compassion by the Nigerian state. Now we've come to the end of tonight's edition of the SWBN News Watch. If you have any leads you want us to follow up on, please send an email to chimela.chike@swbn.tv or to standardwatchstudios@gmail.com. Till we meet next Thursday, 9 p.m., I remain Chimela Chike. Thanks for staying with us until now.